பண்ணாலும் கனெக்ஷன் போயிடும், ஒண்ணு ஆடியோ போயிடும் இல்ல வீடியோ போயிடும்.
அதனால கேர்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். இந்த வயரிங் இந்த பக்கம் தள்ளி விடலாம். மற்ற
Hello. Hello. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Audible, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you. All right. I will share my slides.
Wait, ma'am. We have to.
Hello. I'm not able to hear
Good morning,
anyone.
ma'am. We can start our program with a prayer song and a formal welcome address, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you hear us?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, now you are audible.
Ma'am, we have a formal introduction. Then you can start your presentation, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
A very happy morning. On behalf of the organizing committee, I cordially welcome you all for the second day of International Conference on Food and Agricultural Integration for a Resilient World, Navigating Global Challenges, focusing on innovative approaches and collaborative solutions to address the present issues in food security and sustainable agriculture. God's grace is a light that seeks us forward. Let us call upon our choir to render thanks and to praise God through prayers. Let us all rise up for prayer.
Thank you, choir, for rendering a beautiful prayer song which has enriched our spirits and offered a perfect beginning to our event. A warm welcome is the beginning of a beautiful journey. With these words, I now invite Dr. K. Karthika, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Home Science, to welcome the gathering.
A very good morning to everyone present here. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Anything can be achieved with hope and confidence. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the second day of the International Conference organized by the PG and Research Department of Home Science, Fatima College, Madurai. To begin with, I would like to extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed Secretary, Dr. Sister Ignatius Mary, our dynamic Principal, Dr. Sister M. Fatima Mary, and our Vice Principals, whose vision and leadership have been a constant source of motivation for all of us. Today, we have the extraordinary privilege of welcoming a distinguished leader, an accomplished scholar, and a visionary in the field of public health and nutrition, Dr. Sirimavo Nair. Her academic journey began at the Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda, where she completed her MSc and PhD in 1993, embarking on a career that has since shaped both national and global nutrition frameworks. Dr. Nair stands as a remarkable professional with over 3 decades of dedicated work in teaching, research, program evaluation, and a large-scale public health project management. Her contributions have strengthened systems, transformed communities, and created meaningful improvements in nutrition and health outcomes across India and beyond. Her expertise in designing projects, developing strategic plans, building partnerships, influencing policy, and guiding complex public health initiatives reflects not just her knowledge but her deep commitment to service. She has led collaborative programs involving government bodies, bilateral agencies, and civil society organizations, especially in addressing micronutrient deficiencies, anemia, and wide-ranging public health concerns. We feel deeply honored to welcome a leader who has effectively influenced policymakers, administrators, and program managers at national and international levels. Her voice and vision have contributed to progressive policy shifts and strengthened public health delivery across multiple regions. At present, Dr. Nair serves in several prestigious roles. She is the scientist and chair for fortification and nutrition at the National Panel of Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare from 2023 to 2026. She also serves on the International Codex Panel on Products for Young Children, and she is a technical advisor for rice fortification under the Ministry of Food and Public Distribution. Her presence in multiple technical advisory groups continues to guide India's nutrition landscape with scientific precision and thoughtful leadership. Her global collaborations speak volumes about her influence. She has worked closely with FAO, WHO, the African Union, Cornell University in USA, institutions in China, as well as Nutrition International, UNICEF, WHO, Southeast Asia regions, GAIN, PATH, NIN, ICMR, Tata Trust, and many more. Each partnership reflects her belief in collective progress and evidence-based solutions. Dr. Nair has also contributed substantially to strengthening academic and institutional networks. She has executed 10 MOUs, 7 international and 3 national since 2012, and she has completed 12 major projects since 2003. As a respected academic guide, she has mentored numerous postgraduate and doctoral scholars. Her scholarly output includes 30 research papers in the past 5 years alone, with 16 of them appearing in Scopus Index journals. Welcoming Dr. Nair today reflects our deep regard for her distinguished expertise, impactful leadership, and lifelong service to public health. Her virtual presence adds immense academic value to this forum and inspires learners, researchers, and professionals to strive towards excellence. With deep respect and genuine admiration, I extend a warm and wholehearted welcome to Dr. Sirimavu Nair, and we are truly honored to have you with us today, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you so much for your kind words and introduction.
I would like to welcome our head of the department, Dr. A. Shanti, whose commitment, teamwork, and tireless efforts contribute immensely to the success of this conference. Welcome, ma'am. My heartfelt welcome goes to my wonderful colleagues from the Department of Home Science, whose dedication, enthusiasm, and collaborative spirit enrich every endeavor we take up together. I also extend a warm welcome to all the faculties and student participants from various colleges. Finally, a warm welcome to my dear students from the Department of Home Science. Your dedication and hard work have played a key role in making this international conference possible. Once again, a warm welcome to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mum, for your gracious and heartfelt welcome. As the saying goes, a good beginning makes a good ending. Your warm words of welcome have truly given us the best beginning for today's event. A good session opens the mind, sparks curiosity, and inspires action. Now it's time to begin our technical session 2 on the NFSA addressing hunger and poverty based on SDG 2, the Indian scenario. May I now respectfully invite Dr. Sirimawa Nair, scientist and chair, Nutrition and Fortification, FSSAI, New Delhi, to take over the session and share her valuable insights. We welcome you through the online mode, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Am I audible to all of you?
Ma'am, very good morning. I'm Dr. Shanti.
Yes.
Nice to see you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible.
Your volume can be a little bit increased. You can increase your volume. Okay. Wish you all the best, ma'am. See you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shanti. At this outset, I would like to thank the organizers of Fatima College, Madurai. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Sister Mary Fatima, and who is the principal of Fatima College, and Dr. S. Shanti, who is the head of the college, current head of the college, and organizing secretaries Dr. Priyalata and Dr. Helen, and all the committee members, and my dear students. It is a warm feeling to be connected far across. I was to travel, but due to various circumstances, I am not able to travel. And therefore, I suggested I would join online. Thank you for inviting me. And I hope the lecture gives you a good insight about what is nutrition security, what is food security. I have made it as simple as possible, and I will be sharing my email ID. All students can also ask me any doubts via email. So I am going to share my screen. I will also leave the presentations with Dr. Helen and Dr. Shanti. Once again, thank you for inviting me. Am I audible to all of you? I will be switching off the video so that we can have a good streamlining. So thank you again for inviting me on this international conference organized by the Department of Home Science. So my area of talk today would be on the National Food Security Act addressing hunger and poverty based on SDG 2, the Indian scenario. So this is a collective amount of work of approximately, say, 20 years. And I have tried collating the best possible. So let me start with what we all know about Sustainable Development Goals. Since we are speaking about ending the hunger and poverty, Sustainable Development Goals number 2 helps us to end hunger, achieve food security, improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Despite the gains in reducing the poverty rate, India is still having lot of issues with anemia, stunting, wasting, malnutrition, etc. We already also have started a lot of initiatives at national as well as aiming certain specific goals to be achieved. And this has been a current program which is also running with the government at various levels and various ministries. So moving from SDG 2, we talk about zero hunger. And when we talk about that, we need to talk about food nutrition security. As yesterday, the speakers also have talked to you about the 4 pillars of food nutrition security: the food availability, the food accessibility, the utilization, and stability. I do not want to enter more into that because you already have heard about it. So we all need to have good food, and at all times we should have good health, physical, social, and also we should have good access. Hello. We also should have good access. Hello. I hope the slides are moving.
Hello? Hello? Ma'am, you're audible. You're audible, ma'am. What did she ask?
3/4 of the world's people are unable to afford healthy diets, especially people who live in low and lower middle income countries. And even you would see that people who are in high income countries also are being affected. But majority of the population who are affected are the upper middle income countries. And the next would be the lower middle income countries. The largest population who are affected, you would see the lower middle income countries, which is about 59% of the people. Now, updates for many countries have been made it possible to estimate the hunger in the world with greater accuracy in the year 2020 and 2025 to find out what is coming up by 2030. In particular, the accessible data which have been allowed was the undernourishment estimates from China, which they calculated from the year 2000. And from there, the shift which has been happening of undernourishment in the world has been calculated. The world is not on track to currently achieve zero hunger. And if the recent trends continue, the number of people affected by hunger will surpass 840 million by 2030, or it will approximately have 10% of the population. This scenario, without talking or taking into account the potential impacts of COVID-19, is bringing an alarming situation, and therefore a reassessment of hunger in Asia and Africa has been conducted. Despite the reassessment of the extent of hunger in China, the world's undernourishment is 381 million people suffering, who are all found in Asia. And we'll also see more than 250 million people who live in Africa are also affected. Let us look at the data which have come from FAO in their report of 2025 on global food nutrition and security. What they have found is the hunger is declining, but it is very slowly declining. Approximately 8.7% from 2022 to 8.2% in 2024 are being affected, but the progress is there. It is little slow. 2.3 billion people are having no food access and have no much of work which is available for them to carry on. Estimated about 28% of the global population are moderately or severely food insecure. Healthy diets are out of reach. 2.6 billion people cannot afford one full meal a day. Nutrition targets are off track. progress is seen on stunting, breastfeeding, but nothing to reach the 2030 global tracks which are there. Inequalities are persisting more. In rural areas, women are very badly affected by food insecurity. Global food price inflation is the major concern from 2021 because that was the post-COVID scenario and we were still trying to recuperate from that. And therefore, the global food inflation has gone up to 2.3%, and from 2020, it has come down to 13.6% in 2023, and a 10% hike is seen where people are becoming more food insecure. Now, keeping that scenario in mind, there was an assessment done which is talking about the global estimates which are currently being seen, and the world's prevalence is being affected. And we can see that if you look at the data, you can see that the prevalence of undernourishment and the percentage of people affected are somewhat going hand in hand, and a number of people who are affected are continuously being stable. Slight decrease you can see in both the cases, both the blue lines and the orange lines. You can very clearly see that. So this is a data from right from 2001 to 2024, and this is the scenario in the world which is happening. Now, with all that little bit of notable improvement, what we are seeing on the graphs, when we look at what is that Western Asian countries and Sub-Saharan countries, Southeast Asian regions are being affected, what we are seeing is that there is still 0.2% of people affected in Africa. In Asia, you can see it is on the negative side, 0.6%. Southeast Asia, negative side again, 0.3%. So we come under Southeast Asian countries, and we are exactly in Southern Asia. You can see minus 1.2, Western Asia 0.2, Latin America and South America are 0.2 and 0.4. So the upwards arrows which you are seeing is the deterioration, and the lowerwards arrow which is in the green which you are seeing are the improvement. So there is improvement, but the improvements are very slow. So food insecurity, we can say, has gradually declined at the global level since 2021, and it is not that everything is very clear or everything is excellent. And when you compare all the countries, North America and Europe, you can see the first one, you can see this, across the regions, the scenario of the world is on the left side, and on the right side, across the regions, what is happening. So North America and Europe coming down from 8.1%, and Latin America 25.8%, Asia 23%, Africa 36%. So these are prevalence of moderate or severe food insecurity which is happening. There is a decline which is happening in Asian countries especially, which is shown in green line. That is the scenario. And now let us look at what are the impact of people who are not able to afford a healthy diet. So what you are seeing in the next slide will be the healthy diet is out of reach for 2.6 million people. And what you will be seeing is approximately 60% of the population is being affected. That is the number of people who are unable to afford any kind of a healthy diet which is there. And at the same time, you can see the lower line, which is proportion of the population who are unable to afford a healthy diet. So approximately 40% of people not able to afford a healthy diet, 60% of the people who are being affected and they are not able to have a proportionate good meal. These you see, which is increasing in low income countries and lower middle income countries, excluding India. And the data which is shown will be from 2017 to 2024. So all these are data which have been collated from FAO, that is Food Agricultural Organization, because they keep doing a data update on their dashboards. And what you are seeing is from 2017, the yellow colored ones are India, which is the second one after the green. So what you are seeing is there is a decrease which is happening, and from 61.72% it has come to 58.4%. So there is a good change, but the change is very slow. Now, notable progress has been made in reducing child stunting and increasing exclusive breastfeeding, and the world is not on the track to achieve the global targets. Every country is trying to do the best what they can do to make this more affordable and more reachable to all populations. So what we are seeing is that they are not able to achieve all the targets. Now, when you look at low birth weight, exclusive breastfeeding, stunting, wasting, overweight, anemia, and obesity, which are the nutrition targets and the nutrition indicators which are set, by 2025, this is the scenario, and the targets estimated to go to 2030 are also kept in timeline out here, but we have not come to the best levels of achievement. We are getting some results. We are very much trying and getting some results, and therefore we can say the global scenario is becoming better, but we have not yet reached that level where we can say that everybody is getting equal amount of good food, healthy diets. Now, what are the reasons for this? So when we look into the reasons, what we see is there is a food price inflation which is happening. So why there is a food price inflation? Especially there are various factors, the climate, the procurement, the yield from various countries, the exchanges which happens, the exports, imports which happen. So over the past years, you will see that food price has become a very big concern across various regions, especially after the COVID time. And the low and middle income economies have been very much affected, and the depreciation of local currencies. So when I say depreciation of local currencies, students can remember we had demonetization. So if you look at various countries across Europe, they also had these demonetization process. So they did an internal influential currency exchanges, and that's how they maintained their economy. So we followed a pattern, something to have the demonetization. It was not very welcome, but it helped us to sustain certain things. So the depreciation of local currencies were the first concern. Then the inflow of foreign capital got reduced. Credit ratings which came affected our inflation. The war situations in Ukraine affected very much, especially the agricultural markets, the blockades of trading routes, because those are the routes where shipments are usually done, and these are done in a very high trading areas and trading levels. So the war has also played its own role, and therefore the food price and inflation of this has become very high. And that is where the common public is not able to afford a healthy diet. But let us also look at the factors which are responsible. So food price inflation, so we understood why does it matter. Political stability, the wars are coming up because everybody wants to become the leader of the world. Macroeconomic stability, that is the largest countries who are the richest countries You are now listening to more of what Mr. Donald Trump is doing and how that is affecting the world. And that we can take as an example for you to understand the macroeconomic stability and the food security and nutrition are the major factors which are coming in. So, in the next slide, what we are seeing is how this overall inflation and food price inflation has affected the population. So, FAO has made a calculation on this and they have come up from their data. They looked at consumer price index versus food price index. So from the consumer price index to food price index, they could check how the change is happening. So in December 2020, the food price inflation on a year-to-year base was 2.3%. But when you look at January, you can see it is 13.6%. So though we say that we are progressing, the food price inflation has affected very much the population, and that if you look at in 2022 October, the consumer price index it was 9.6, and we are now not able to get back to that level. So there is a big gap and a big difference which you see. Again, this data is right from 2019 to 2024. So we wanted to look at what happened after the COVID situation. Now, as I said, we could see what are the major reasons and major factors which contributed. So why food inflation? Governments have spent 17 trillion in fiscal support to overcome the COVID-19 situation, where consumption pattern accelerated in the late 2022. So though the government did spend a lot of money trying to address the issues and concerns, the consumption had the impact, and that came up in 2022. Now look at how COVID-19 impact brought certain changes on value chains, that rising energy prices, the war, the extreme weather. So these were the few impacts which affected. So there is a change, or the inflation is being affected because of the prices of all commodities which go, and there is no control of weather. We cannot control the weather situation, and that was the second impact. Adding to that was the dollar story. There's a strong appreciation of the dollar, which came by more than 20% compared to low middle income countries, whose currencies are compared always to understand are we on the right growth trajectory. And you can see that the countries are being affected. So the 20% change which you see in the middle income countries are being affected by the situations of the dollar, especially Asian countries and African countries. In Asia, in Africa, sub-Saharan countries more are affected compared to India. The massive monetary creation which supported COVID-19 policies, the US Fed and added 2.2 trillion US dollars in 4 years of time. So this 4 years from 2019 to 2022 had a big impact in controlling the global food trade and the global policies which got affected, because that is where the funding affected, or the massive funding affected the promotion of food prices. Now, the FAO also looked at the domestic food inflation versus global food commodity prices. So what they found from January 2019 to November 2024 was the COVID-19 started in March 2020, and the beginning of the war in Ukraine was in January 2022, and at the end of COVID-19, that is somewhere March 2023, you can see how the graphs are going up and coming down. So the food price index, the first one is the orange line, which you can see, which is from January 19 to 24. There was an increase, but this increase was a bearable, slow increase. People could adjust to that. But you see the green line, which is going up and down. By the time when it was war situation in March 2022, it affected the price commodity very high. And then the war and the COVID ending together slightly came down. So the FAO price index, which you now see, is almost touching back. So there is an improvement which is happening, and the situations are becoming better. The food price inflation, if you see, the consumer price index, which is affecting low income countries, lower middle income countries, upper middle income countries, and high income countries, and the world, is what is being shown in the next slide. Now you can see the most affected one is the low income countries. The second ones are the lower middle income and upper middle income countries. So the each and every country is being affected, and therefore the global scenario has become to this level. So when you say that, we look at food price versus food security. What is the food price highest in low income countries, impacting more households and their income? They cannot spend much money, and that is, their purchasing power is being affected. And that's where the whole process is changing, where food price versus food security concerns are there, and it negatively impacts the food security and nutrition. The association between food prices and food security varies across countries and groups. So you can see plus 10% changes which had in the food prices have affected 3 different stages, plus 3.5% in overall severe moderate food insecurity, plus 4% in severe and moderate food insecurity for women, and plus 5.5% in prevalence of severe wasting among children, especially under 5 years of age. So when we look at nutritional vulnerability, or when we talk of nutrition security, we always look at women and children, especially pregnant, lactating mothers and children under 5 years. Those are our emergency nutrition indicators. And when they affect in a population or in a community, we understand that there is inflation affecting, or there is insecurity slowly coming in. There are various other indicators, but we are talking of how we look at this generally. So from the global scenario, I would like to now come to make you understand how did India try to adjust this. So India had certain visions. From 2013, we tried out the Nutrition Food Security Act, which we wanted to do, and we brought it as a National Food Security Act so that everybody gets equally at least a good food or affordable food. So this has been implemented, and the act was to have the enforcement, to have legal entitlements, so that we wanted to address first the hunger, and we wanted that nobody should be sleeping hungry at any day. So the food security program was from welfare of right-based approach. That is, people in the country are entitled to receive food grains at subsidized price rates to targeted public distribution system, which we call as our local fair price shop or ration shops. Keeping in frame, a life cycle approach has been done by the NFSA, which includes midday meal scheme, integrated child development services, which covers 75% rural and 50% urban population. This is now slightly increased. The Parliamentary Act, which was signed into law on 12 September 2013, to be re-evoked in July 2013. It was a retroactive process, and the NFSA was implemented in all states UTIs on all India basis. The maximum coverage is approximately 81.35 crores of people, and 80 crores of them have been covered under NFSA for subsidized food prices. So people would, when I say subsidized food prices, people would get 1 rupee, 2 rupee grains at the shop, at the fair price shop, and they can purchase rice and wheat at that particular price. So the schemes under NFSA was to ensure food security and welfare with respect to life cycle approaches. The targeted public distribution system was to have provision of food grains, rice, wheat at subsidized prices to the AAY and priority households which are as per their entitlements. So we have taken consideration as 5,000 rupees monthly income for a household, and we have made these allocations. And to ensure the food security, what we have done is we have made partially their nutritional requirements also. I'll come to that a little later. Then we introduced midday meal programs and provided hot cooked meals to all children from class 1 to 8 in the beginning to government and government aided schools. And to enhance their enrollment, this helped. They could come to the school, the attendance improved, their nutritional status, especially of the primary school children, improved. And that's where the program became better and effective. That was rolled out through the public distribution system, and that was through the education department. The target public distribution system was carried out by the public distribution system itself. Then we had the ICDS, where we are providing meals below 6 years of children and a take-home ration to pregnant mothers and lactating mothers. Then we had Indira Gandhi Matritva Sahyog Yojana, which is conditional cash transfer, where pregnant and lactating mothers are entitled to receive not less than 6,000 rupees per pregnancy. So some of these national nutrition strategies were aimed to accelerate the decline of malnutrition in India, and National Nutrition Mission, which was also affecting the growth of children, as well as also to check the pilferage of the food, that is from the ration places, it should go directly to the people who are consumers, and trying to bring betterment. It was the aim which was done, so that the National Nutrition Mission monitors growth of children as well as checks the pilferage of the food. Poshan Abhiyan, which has been launched in 2017-2018, aimed to reduce stunting, undernutrition, anemia, and lower birth weight babies. As I said, the AAY cards which were provided, Antyodaya Anna Yojana, which is to provide food at subsidized prices to poor families. Integrated Child Development Scheme, which was kept for 0 to 6 years, pregnant mothers, adolescent girls, and they wanted to also been addressing the comprehensive care which can be given through the Anganwadi services. The midday meal I already spoke, and the Pradhan Mantri Matruvandam Yojana. So these were the programs which were rolled out in India on basis of the performance of status, where we could try to address the union territories and all places on SDG 2 to bring betterment and to zero down the hunger. So these are programs which are going on. It is bringing some betterment, but the need to ensure nutrition security is to keep in mind the SDG practice which we want to do in 2030, and to receive that and bring good health and well-being to people. So what did we gain finally is the recommendations which we are adopting. These recommendations are to end hunger, achieve food security, and also this automatically brought in SDG 17 as partnership goals, which you will see in the next slide. And this they carried out in collaboration with Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Public Distribution, and the World Food Program, which is working as a emergency approach. They are the ones who brought in central sector scheme for rice fortification, saying that at least one meal we can provide to everybody, where we can add at least 2 to 3 nutrients, or as per what we have mandated for our own fortification purposes. So there was a large scientific deliberation happening at the Prime Minister's office, and they took together a decision to address all these vulnerabilities. Let us put food fortification as one of the strategies, and let us try to bring in betterment in the anemia situation. So the current situation we are in is 56% of anemia on an average, prolonging across the country. So there were specific strategic outcomes which were designed, which was to enhance efficiency at national food security safety nets. Then the food baskets which were to be taken care by the ICDS, and the developing countries to strengthen the capacities. So wherever strengthening capacity happens, the World Food Program people have to come in and they take over and assess the situation and start making provisions from the global funds. So this enhanced efficiency of national food safety helped in improving and bringing best practices in the public distribution system. And we have now developed an EPOS, which is biometric system, to help to reduce the pilferage, to reduce the corruptions. All that has been taken care. And with all that in progress, we are slowly moving. And when we look at what is happening at the various places, we are seeing that every country is being affected by malnutrition, and at least some countries are only having single burden, some countries have double burden of malnutrition, and some countries have triple burden of malnutrition. So this data has been taken from the Global Nutrition Reports, and 2018 hunger index was the severity at that time, and later on this improved completely and has been taken care completely, and that is the situation which is now improving. So India ranks 103rd position out of 119 countries with a score of 31.1, indicating the suffering level of hunger was very high. So this was a scenario by which we considered that we need to address our people and bring betterment to our people. So this scenario is the one which we need to keep in mind to achieve the SDG 2030 goals and try to improve further. So we all understood that these are the indicators which we are looking for. So malnutrition, all of you are very well aware, is defined as deficiencies or excess imbalances. Undernutrition, stunting, wasting, underweight, micronutrient deficiencies which are hidden, overweight, obesity, diet-related disease, etc. are the ones you will further see which are impacting. And you saw the statistics, more than 2.8 billion people are now being completely affected by this whole, and 41 million children under the age of 5 are being also affected. So these are all statistics which are across the world and has been taken care. So when children are affected, usually UNICEF comes in and they create a program and they make certain determinants to address, because they work more closely with children. So there is a concept framework which is used for understanding the determinants of child undernutrition, and household food insecurity is the one which has been maximally affected, and this has a major role to play in the community nutrition portfolio. So when we say if people are able to have food, that we come down to the underlying major cause, which is the household food insecurity. The inadequate dietary intake or disease, underlying causes, household food insecurity, and basic causes are inadequate financial situation, socio-cultural, economic situations, education, employment. There are so many factors which are affected, and all these are completely interrelated, and this affects the child very much, and the child who is to progress as a citizen is also being affected. So the maternal and child health or maternal and child undernutrition is to be taken complete care when we design such programs. So how do we address this? That is where we had the National Food Security Act coming in, and we can use, India has a large public distribution system. As I said, 80 crores of people are being benefited. So the targeted public distribution system which we have has been since 1990s, and in 1997 it was made as a targeted system. Main objective is to support lowest quintile income families to buy food grains at very low prices to improve their nutritional status and food security through the fair price shops. So this is just a slide to show you, the next one to show you the evolution of public distribution system in India from 1942, where no rations were given. This is prior to our independence. Now we have reached in 2013 to have a National Food Security Act, which is helping us to improve and access food grains. Now we are also having buffer stock, and we are able to, in 2025, we are able to give these provisions to neighboring countries when there is war or when there is a situation which is bad. The public distribution system flow is right from the farmer to the central government to the state government. From there, it goes to the district administration, to blocks, to godowns, to fair price shops and beneficiaries. So we are the beneficiaries who are getting the end product at the end of the day. So this is just to show you how the system is. And the next slide is how this is being procured. So we have the ration cards which have been designed as 3 major card bases based on the income of the household: APL, BPL and AAY. This most of you are aware of. So that is the responsibility of the central government to the state government, and the Antyodaya Anna Yojana and PHH priority households are given 35 kilograms of food grains per household per month at the price where it is specified for the priority households, and they will receive 5 kg of food grains per person per month. That is how it is calculated. So there are benefits of these which helped us to address hunger. So we do not have people dying because of hunger or people not able to sleep because of hunger. Now we have that one card, one nation system where anywhere you cross across the country, you can access with your ration card, you can access the food or the food grains. So the reforms were many: to have door-to-door step delivery, to have ICT tools. We modified them. Now we have an EPOS system. We have social audit. We have vigilance committees in the village, state, district, block levels. Establishment of grievance redressal mechanism is there. So you all have a ration card at home. You can take the card and look at the left page. There is a toll-free number given. When you ring, maybe somebody may not pick it up, but they will ring you back because you are in that queue system, and they'll ask you back how or what problem are you facing. So this information you can also share across in your villages and in your urban scenarios also. So we have now digitization, database. Ration cards have Aadhaar sealing. It is connected and linked to the Aadhaar. It has an online allocation of the food grains, and grievance mechanisms helps us to address all the issues. So this will ensure us the distribution of food grains in more efficient manner and provides leakages when transportation occurs. So the PDS system helps us to reduce hunger, malnutrition, and NFSA enactment through these TPDS functions help us to address the gaps in dietary diversity. And India also has looked at the dietary diversity scores. The minimum dietary diversity scores for women, for children, etc. had been worked out, and there is a regular uptake which goes on into these data, and these data are assessed regularly. So the dietary diversity scores are worked out, and they are used as a proxy tool to measure consumption of varied food groups, which can be given in the entire day meals and promote good health. So this helps us to come to the conclusions that what are we consuming or what are we every day taking as diets can be calculated. So we have three modalities to this: household dietary diversity score, which will talk to us in 24-hour dietary recall. They are quantifiable, and that tells us whether the household has improved or not. Minimum dietary diversity score for women, that is 15 to 49 years, at least 5 out of 10 food groups should be consumed in the previous day and night. That is a proxy indicator to reflect the micronutrient inadequacy of the women's diets. We have under 5 children, so we look at infant young child feeding dietary diversity score, and if they have consumed at least 4 out of 7 food groups the previous day or night, has to be calculated. So these are some of the methods and tools by which we calculate and find out how are we taking enough diet, are we having varied diets, are we having different types of cereals and pulses and vegetables, fruits, meat or egg products which is to be consumed. So we also had something called as concurrent evaluation of the NFSA program. These are some of the results which I am showing, which we carried out in Gujarat. So we looked at the eldest women who has been identified as a household head, and if by her name, if the ration card is connected, then there is additional provisions given to the lady because she runs the house. So there are cash entitlements attached to that. Sample food grains are displayed at the FBS or not, that is being checked. And is there any foreign particles or people adjust weight by adding small stones to the grains, etc. Is that happening or not? That has been also accessed. And average food grain quantity consumed by the households by per capita has been found out, and cash transfers are happening or not in the system also has been checked. Underweighing, overweighing was very low or not reported by any of the districts in Gujarat, and the EPOS system was functioning comparatively good, and it was used as 100% usage. We did have initially a lot of trouble, and then so this was parallelly conducted in all states in India and union territories and taken phase-wise, phase 1 and phase 2. So immediate action plans were carried out so that we immediately improve the system. But this was a system which we were giving the diets which are high in cereals. so that we were addressing food. Now comes food as versus the nutrition security. So our diets are rich in cereals, that is our major crops are rice and wheat, and that is being considered. And based on that, we looked at what was the status of anemia in our country, and we found that children, women, and men are equally affected. We had severe, moderate, mild, normal cutoffs which have been addressed as per our system, and we found that from NFHS 4 to NFHS 5, this was not a good scenario. We reached 58 to 67 for children, 53 to 57 for women, 22 to 25 for men, as anemia was precipitating across India. And this was consensus carried out by the NFHS survey, and NIN was also involved in this assessment. So what we found was 70% of school children had iron deficiency anemia, 50 to 70% folic acid deficiency was found, 57% of preschool children had subclinical vitamin A deficiency. The goiter control program is helping to address iodine deficiency across the country, and 70% of the population have micronutrient intake which was less than 50% of the RDA. So micronutrient deficiencies usually are not visible so fast unless and until it brings out certain symptoms very clearly. I'm not going into the details of that since you already do all this in your regular coursework. So keeping this as a status or what we saw in the population, we decided that we need to go for food fortification as one of the strategies despite giving these grains in the public distribution system. So when we say micronutrient deficiencies, those are hidden hunger, those are vulnerabilities which are not very shown in the early stages. So what you are seeing is a picture of the globe across where hidden hunger is calculated on daily assessment and how they perform. So you can see India is in reddish color. In certain parts of Africa, you can see the red color, and in some other portions in scattered regions. But you will see most of the countries are definitely affected. South America has comparatively lesser, and North America is comparatively better. So all this is a very big reality. These are not very encouraging. Vitamin and minerals are required for every day to ensure good health and fight the disease. India has a very high burden of anemia, vitamin A and D deficiencies. So simple diets which are there are staple foods are with low consumption of fruits, vegetables, exacerbate these micronutrient deficiencies. So we may be taking rice and any one vegetable or something to feed us in the normal situation, but that does not address the micronutrient deficiencies, and micronutrient deficiencies are definitely needed to bring in the nutrient security. So food fortification of staples would improve both food and nutrition security, and therefore the government of India decided in 2015 we'll roll out the food fortification program. By 2016 the decision was completed, and by 2018 the first gazette was rolled out, and that was going to talk on the food fortification. So addition of key micronutrients, vitamins and minerals in staple foods. So very clearly we took 5 staples: rice, wheat, oil, salt and milk, because these are consumed by all populations, and at least in a week 3 times definitely these would be consumed, however poor a family is, and therefore this decision was considered. It was a cost-effective approach. It is a scalable, sustainable solution. It acts as a preventive measure so that we don't decline further, and widely accepted. There is no much of change of taste or color or odor in the texture of the food. So we could clearly address iron deficiency anemia, vitamin A, iodine, and growing concern of vitamin D deficiency, which we are seeing nowadays across the country. So there was a consensus built up done by co-creating the policy by the government from the Prime Minister's office, and various meetings were conducted across India in a zone-wise manner, and multiple situations were addressed because various states, various regions were taken into consideration, because the kind of food which we eat across the state is very varied and it is not the same type of food. So everybody had to be sensitized, everybody had to be told what is the plan of government and how we are doing this. And then the regulations were designed. So the regulations were gazetted. So the range for minimum and maximum micronutrients were decided. The levels were kept adjusted to provide 30 to 50% of the RDA so that it does not cross the limit or bring any toxicity. Bioavailable sources which are easy to fortify was chosen. Only plant sources were used for vitamin D. Vanaspati fortification, which would create fat and trans fat, was removed, and transition time was given till 1st July 2019 before the enforcement starts. So when these are done, this is a part of FSSAI's work. They are the regulators, and government gazette has been rolled out with approval of all scientists in ICMR and NIN. And these ranges were decided, how much to fortify, what to fortify. As I said, 5 staples were decided to fortify. And these 5 very clearly health claims were discussed, what would be the impact which would come. So milk and oil for vitamin A, where it prevents, vitamin A prevents night blindness, D supports strong bones. Rice and wheat flour, we had iron, folic acid, and vitamin B12. So here there are 3 vitamins which are taken into consideration in minerals, and another 2 in milk and oil. Iron to fight anemia, folic acid for fetal development, double fortified salt for iron and iodine, and vitamin B12 for good nervous system, iodine for rapid and normal growth, and addressing goiter. So there was a logo design. If you take up any fortified food products right now, if you take up any oil products, that is easy for you to see. It will be having a +F logo, and that means that has been fortified with the respective nutrients which has been approved by FSSAI. So the logo was decided, and it stated that Sampurna Poshan Swasth Jeevan means you have good nutrients that will bring you good health. So the +F logo was designed and that was implemented. Then directives were issued by various ministries. Ministry of Human Resource Development issued an order that there was an order in 2011, and that order got revoked in 2017, that all the states will be using fortified flour and fortified edible oil and double fortified salt under MDM, because that is the largest program and the safety net program for which address our children of India. So we had that as the first directive. The second was from the Ministry of Women and Child Development, and the order was issued in 2019. This order also was there in 2011, revoked in 2017, and then in 2019 once again, and directing the states to use all fortified food products in the ICDS system. Then we had the public distribution system, and this order again was distributed by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, and using target promoted fortified oil, and that is what the public distribution system carried out further. So these orders were from various ministries, and then we looked at the common consumption which is being done by all populations. So in India, at least one time everybody would eat at least 100 grams of rice, 50 to 100 grams of cooked rice, And that is where the concern came in, that we will fortify rice across the country. And then we looked at what are the strategies, what did other countries do, and we found that from 1930, countries were doing various technologies: parboiling, coating, dusting, extrusion, hot and warm extrusions. And some of the countries also mandated these programs. When I say mandated, that means strictly everybody has to follow. It becomes a mandatory practice. So various technologies were available, and people used social safety net programs, mandatory legislation, voluntary fortification. That is, somebody wants to do, they can do. Somebody doesn't want to do, they need not to. Workplace benefit programs, pilot projects, etc. were carried out, and that was what we looked at across the globe. Then we looked at what is the level of rice consumption across the globe. So the next slide shows you in a slightly orangish color ones, where more than 75% of the population across the globe are consuming rice at one given point of time. So the Prime Minister took a call after listening to all these scientific evidences, saying that we would give through our public distribution system, that various schemes will provide rice to vulnerable segment, and this will be fortified throughout the country and will be done by 2024 for entire India. And we had various programs which has been worked out right from 2003, where we had ultra rice. In 2012 we made a cost effective blending solutions with fortified rice kernels. In 2016, FSSAI supported for technical partnerships. 2017, we had advocacy from public distribution system, and then we improved our technologies by 2021, and now we are much better and able to take it up further. So we also looked at what is WHO talking about. So we followed the WHO guidelines in India, and we found that fortification with rice alone or in combination with other micronutrients improves iron status by reducing risk of iron deficiency by 35%, and the iron HP improvement by 2 grams per DL in a population. So in approximately even in 6 months of time, if you improve 2 grams per DL in India, considering all sorts of impact, we still would say that we are achieving towards that region. So the standards for fortification was based on that calculation of 2 grams per DL rice, and this is the slide which is showing you what was the level of fortification implemented. So iron, to use as ferric pyrophosphate, we have 2 salts, ferric pyrophosphate and sodium ion EDTA. Folic acid, vitamin B12, these were 3 first mandatory ones. That is a must. Whoever fortifies rice has to add these 3 definitely, and quantities and levels are mentioned. Then an option is given for zinc, vitamin A, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin and pyridoxine. That is additional. If anybody wants to do, they can do. So these standards are already worked out. Then ICMR carried out a study with 6 states across the country, all borders with Gujarat, Maharashtra, Telangana, Himachal Pradesh, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, and they looked at various types of rice which was being consumed by all populations. So because each state has a different type of rice which they make and procure, and those rice were looked up. 9 referral laboratories were assigned to make the fortified rice, make the FRK or the premix which we use, and those premixes are tested in NABL accredited labs, and this has been completely taken care, and a revised SOP has been issued in 2023 to have an acceptable ratio, blending ratio, and that's how the whole situation was considered. We also had through the health department Anemia Mukt Bharat program, which was running in all medical institutions to have a 6 into 6 into 6 strategy where we have iron folic acid supplementation tablets, we have periodic deworming which is happening, then intensified behavioral change communication so that people consume regularly the iron tablets which are given, testing of anemia using digital methods in any public system, public health center, mandatory provision of folic acid, and addressing non-nutritional deficiencies and causes are the ones which were addressed, and expected that a 3% per year reduction in anemia has to happen. Now, keeping all these programs together in mind, the Anemia Mukt Bharat program, as well as the public distribution system, which has been there, the WFPs conducted a statewide survey to understand what is happening with India once this rise was rolled out. So there was a phase-wise rollout for India. Phase 1 was to cover ICDS and PM Poshan by March 2022, 17.5 lakh metric ton. Phase 2 was phase 1 plus the TPDS and the OWS with 291 aspirational districts who were in high burden, with TPDS 106.25 lakh metric tons and ICDS and PM Poshan 29.58 lakh metric tons. They made the fortified rice distributed across the country. Phase 3 was phase 2 plus remaining districts. All districts got implemented by April 2023 and completed by April 2024. The infrastructural support from 21, we had 20 NABL accredited labs. And in 2023, it was 45 labs which will test for FRKs, 21 labs for FRKs and 10 labs for premix facilities. So we also looked at the quality control, quality assurance part of what we are making for all the populations. So we had these NABL accredited labs, and 2,690 rice mills had the blending infrastructure. In 2023, it became 21,000 rice mills. And in 21, we had 34 FRK manufacturers. In 2023, we have 800 FRK manufacturers. So we can say we are progressing, and the number of states also increased, 33 states with total blending capacity of 215.36 lakh metric tons of fortified rice to be rolled out across India. So now the availability of food is ensured, availability of good nutrients, at least 3 nutrients mandatory, 2 nutrients through oil, and 2 through salt has been taken care completely. So this is where the NFHS was enacted, and the program of NFSA got implemented as a benefit of the population. So we rolled this out, so it was not very easy said and done program, and it had its own up and downs, political interference, other interferences which were there, and the rice fortification handbook was released so that at all levels people can access this. This is available online, and this can be taken as a handbook for everybody to have a ready reference, and this was launched for in the public interest. So this is where the government took the further initiatives, and the public distribution ministers and secretaries were involved in this. So just the last part of the slides, where just to give you the results, what WFP did, they designed a study design with timeline, and methodology was found out. So they looked at Chandauli district, which is in Odisha, and that was the worst affected place in India, and methodology was finalized in 2021. And July 2023 to August 2023, the N-line data collections happened, and baseline was NFHS 5 survey, and the pilot project was from 2019 to 2021, and the N-line was by NFHS 5 aligned, and that's how the program was connected to Government of India to roll out and see what is really happening. So there, what was observed was regular access and frequent consumption of fortified rice. Target public distribution system was in full-fledged. Fortified rice was taken by people 13.9 kgs per month, wheat 10.6 kgs, pulses 5 kgs. This is the consumption. And the household average consumption was fortified rice, and the TPDS was 4.8 days per week. Regular rice was taken 3.1 days per week. All these are through domestic production and domestic systems which are available. And 39% household consumed fortified rice daily, 34% household consumed fortified rice 3 to 4 times a week. And overall, we could say that 4.8 times per week was the average consumption. So these were the results which were given to understand that we are improving our nutrition security, and that is where the programs were looked at. Midday meal, ICDS, children under 36 to 59 months, pregnant women, lactating women. These were covered. So school children, 525 schools were looked at, and integrated service developments were seen for 105 units. Children were looked at, which was about 59 children in each unit, pregnant women 49 in each unit, and lactating women 27. Now, all of them gave us varied results, but on an average, we can say the rice consumption was improved 66%. So 32 to 66%, and wheat was from 14 to 81, pulses 21 to 74, and vegetables 17 to 78. So this is where we had the PM Poshan rolling out and the results of the PM Poshan program. The favorable acceptance of fortified rice was checked by the sensory parameters for appearance, color, texture, smell, and taste. And the red ones which you are seeing is bad, and the beige color is neutral, and light green is good. So for appearance, 70% of people approved the appearance. 68% said color was not a problem. 70% said texture was all right. 65% said no difference in smell. 71% said no difference in state, in the taste. So that means it was acceptable for most of the people. What we looked at the anemia, what we found was significant reduction in prevalence of anemia in the target groups. We can see children 65% to 58%, which is 7.5% changes. Adolescent girls 39.3%, boys 27.1%. Not much of change seen there. A decline of 8 percentage points in all women age 15 to 49, 48 to 40%. Decline of anemia in men, 4.6 percentage points. So the final recommendations which came is continued education and awareness is needed, where implementation, focus, awareness campaigns need to be conducted, community outreach, workshops, educational sessions, IEC components to be given to the people, both the functionaries as well as beneficiaries under Poshan Abhiyan, and that needs to be strengthened. Then strengthening the training programs for millers, FCI officials, and other technologies to be improved. Revisions were to be disseminated. Infrastructures were also need to be strengthened. So more NABL labs and more samples to be done. So the conclusion says adequate evidence of rice fortification helped us to improve iron status. We need to scale this up, and we need more research and more behavioral change communication for the population is needed. So the benefits for consuming is that regular consumption of micronutrients, fortified staples will help us to bring betterment 25 to 30% in the requirement of micronutrients, thereby having nutrient security per se, along with food security. And these are highly bioavailable nutrients. Regular consumption is a must. This slide is just to show you, the next one is just to show you what are the open market availability of those foods which are there and how that will help everybody to go and procure. You need to just see the plus F logo. So you have all these are fortified food products which are available publicly in the market. So finally, coming to the last slide, what can be done? A more coordinated, informed, restrained policy needs to be there. All government needs to be under coordinated policies and actions. Global food markets need to have functional, less disruptive trade interventions. Importance of market and transparency, timely information needs to be reaffirmed. Robust institutional and coordination mechanisms will make a good difference. Balancing immediate relief and structural reforms will help us to understand our food systems and price hikes in a better way. So these are our future. So let us join hands to provide good health, improved quality of life to all. Let us eat right. Let us eat fortified. Thank you very much. You are most welcome to come to Vadodara anytime. And I would be happy to welcome and I would be happy to address any queries which you have. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is my alma mater. So this is the Maharaja Sayajirao University where I have graduated partially for my master's and my PhD. I owe all my growth over here. All my queries to be addressed to sirinair@gmail.com. Thank you so much for having me. Over to you. All my queries to be addressed to sirinair@gmail.com.
ഞാൻ ടച്ച് ചെയ്യാം. ക്യാമറ
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. What happened? The transmission stopped?
Here we have a feedback of a student, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Kamala Priya from 2nd PG. Ma'am, we already know about what is food security, but you gave me a real picture of the food security, what is happening in around the India. But we also get the information about the National Food Security Act, ma'am. We can get many information through this session. It's a useful and nice session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do they have any queries? Then I can address any queries if they have.
No worries, ma'am. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Sorry for the inconvenience caused by the technical glitch, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for the profound inputs on NFSA, National Food Security Act, and its importance in achieving zero hunger. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. At this moment, I request Dr. M. Angel, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Home Science, to express our gratitude to Dr. Sirimavo Nair.
Enter his gate with thanksgiving, his courts with praise. Psalm 104. It's my prerogative pleasure to propose the oath of thanks on this special occasion. I express my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Secretary, Dr. Sister Ignatius Mary, and our most respected Principal, Dr. Sister M. Fatima Mary, for their support and encouragement for organizing this event. I extend my thanks to our dynamic Vice Principals for their constant support for our conference. I thank the Deans and IQAC coordinators for their encouragement. I thank the HOD, Dr. S. Shanti, for her meticulous care in organizing this event. Now, I'm most grateful to Dr. Sirimavo Nair, Scientist and Chair, Nutrition and Fortification, FSSAI, New Delhi, for her gracious presence and enlightening our minds through your speech on the NFSA addressing hunger and poverty. Ma'am, your speech on number of peoples affected by hunger will surpass 840 million in 2030 is quite alarming. A 10% hike in people or more insecure to food triggers us to researches related to food security. A healthy diet is out of reach for 2.6 billion people in the worldwide was highly remarkable, ma'am. Ma'am, your speech on how overall inflation and food price inflation and strategies to ensure food nutrition security was quite germane. The double burden of malnutrition in India makes us to realize where we are and has created a spark in the young minds. Ma'am, you have emphasized a spark in the young minds to take steps further. You have emphasized the steps taken by the government to eradicate hunger, and your words were thought-provoking and have turned the young minds from ignorance to elegance and to take a step forward towards the need of the hour. Once again, I thank you, ma'am. I thank the organizing secretaries for their efforts. I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude for the faculties of the PG and Research Department of Home Science for their continuous support throughout the program. I thank all the participants from various institutions for their gracious presence through online and offline throughout these days. I extend my sincere thanks to the faculties of the Department of Visual Communication for their efforts in visualizing the events. I thank the technicians and the non-teaching staff members for their cooperation to make the program successful. Last but not the least, I thank all the young minds, the student force of our department for their energetic and joyful support towards the success of the event. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for expressing your gratitude. We will have our usual break for 15 minutes and everyone are asked to assemble inside the Jubilee Hall sharp within 11:10 without any further delay.
Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. And with this, we close this online event, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll
Thank you.
leave,
Good
ma'am.
day to all of you. Bye-bye.
எங்களோட வைஃபை மாத்திரம் ஆஃப் பண்ணிடணும் ஏன்னா
உங்க
எங்களுக்கு
வைஃபை இல்ல. நான் அது teachers வந்தோடனே என்னோடதுல connect பண்ணிட்டேன். பாருங்க.
இல்ல எங்களோடதெல்லாம்
For the kind attention of the student, please maintain the timing. 15 minutes is given to you. Cooperate because you are the audience. The chief guest for the validity function has already arrived. So please cooperate and be here on time. Thank you.
கூப்பிட்டாங்களா?
Welcome back, everyone. Every ending marks the start of something new. As we continue, we invite you to settle in the next segment, promises even more inspiration and excitement. May this day begin with grace, proceed with peace, and end with blessings. Let us all rise up for prayer song. God is good all the time. He put a song of praise in this heart of mine. God is good all the time. Through the darkest night, His light will shine. God is good. God is good all the time. If you're walking through the valley, there are shadows all around. Do not fear, He will guide you. He will keep you safe and sound. 'Cause He has promised to never leave you, nor forsake you. And His word is true. God is good all the time. He put a song of praise in this heart of mine. God is good all the time. Through the darkest night, His light will shine. God is good. God is good all the time.
Thank you, choir, for your harmonious rendition that added grace and depth to today's valediction. A welcome is not just a greeting, it is an invitation to learn, share, and rise together. May I now cordially invite Dr. D. Mauna, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Home Science, to welcome the gathering.
A pleasant good morning to everyone. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the valedictory function of the International Conference on Food and Agricultural Integration for a Resilient World, Navigating Global Challenges, organized by the PG and Research Department of Home Science, Fatima College, Madurai. I am honored and privileged to welcome the Secretary, Dr. Sister Ignatius Mary. We are grateful for your constant support and encouragement, Sister. I welcome you, Sister. I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our dynamic principal, Dr. Sister Fatima Mary, and our vice principals, Dr. Sister Arul Mary, Dr. Sister Bindu Anthony, Dr. S. Vidya, and Mrs. Nigila Raghavan, for granting us permission and extending their full support and conduct the international conference. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome as an eminent and noble personality our chief guest for today's program, Dr. R. Selvarajan, Director, ICAR, National Research Center for Banana Trichy. Sir has completed his UG and PG at the Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore, and his PhD at the Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi. He is currently serving as the Director of ICAR, NRCB Trichy. with over 30 years of distinguished service in banana research and plant pathology. Sir has made pioneering contributions in disease diagnostics, management, transgenics, genome editing, and IoT applications for sustainable banana cultivation. Under his visionary leadership, several landmark initiatives have been undertaken at ICAR NRCB, including the development of 4 banana varieties, a revival of the next extinct GI tagged Virupakshi variety, and the establishment of a state-of-the-art virus diagnostics laboratory. His team has developed indigenous virus detection kits and certified millions of tissue cultured plants from more than 100 banana tissue culture farms across the country. His technologies have generated a revenue of 10 crores, and he has successfully completed 17 externally funded projects with worth of 12 crores. Sir has also led the creation of an AI-powered decision support system for banana disease management, integrating precision farming with the digital technologies. Under his leadership, ICAR NRCB established Asia's largest banana gene bank, conserving banana and plantain genetic diversity. He also established a modern tissue culture facility using bioreactor technology and implemented precision farming strategies involving automated irrigation, AI, IoT, agricultural drones, nano-nutrient formulations, and integrated disease management systems. A prolific researcher, Dr. Selvarajan has published 99 research papers in reputed peer-reviewed journals with 2,441 citations, an H index of 23 and an I-10 index of 46. He has authorized 7 books, contributed 62 book chapters, and holds 2 national patents. He has received several prestigious honors, including the DST Lockheed Martin India Innovation Growth Program Award, ICAR Hari Om Ashram Trust Award, Sanati Award, and Sharda Lily Memorial Award from the Indian Phytopathological Society. Internationally, he has served as an FAO consultant, secretary in plant virology, vice president of the Indian Virology Society, and editor of the Springer Journal Viral Diseases. He is a fellow of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences and 6 other professional societies. Sir has also convened and guided numerous national and international training programs, conferences, symposiums, contributing immensely to the advancement of banana science. Sir, thank you for accepting our invitation and for addressing our students as they prepare to begin another chapters of their lives. On behalf of the Home Science family, I warmly welcome you, sir. I feel privileged to welcome Professor Abhishek Datta, Department of Food, Agricultural and Natural Resources, Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, Thailand. I welcome you, sir. I extend my sincere and heartfelt welcome to Dr. Kalpana Bhaskaran, Deputy Director, Industry Partnerships, Head, Center for Applied Nutrition Services and Glycemic Index Research Unit, School of Applied Science, Thematic Polytechnic, Singapore. I welcome you, ma'am. I'm extremely pleased to welcome our beloved head, Dr. S. Shanti, Associate Professor and Head, PG and Research Department of Home Science, Fatima College, Madurai. Welcome you, ma'am. It is a great pleasure to welcome the teaching and non-teaching staff of the Home Science Department and esteemed staff members of the various colleges in and around Tamil Nadu. A special word of welcome goes to the budding home scientists of PG and the Research Department of Home Science and to the students from other colleges. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a warm and insightful welcome. Your words have framed the purpose and spirit of this gathering beautifully. It is our honor to facilitate our distinguished chief guest for adding value and dignity to this conference. I humbly call upon our respected secretary, Dr. Sister Ignatius Mary, to honor Dr. R. Selvarajan, Director, ICAR NRCB, National Research Center for Banana, Trichy, to give the memento. May I now invite Dr. S. Shanti, Head, PG and Research Department of Home Science and convener of this international conference, to honor our beloved secretary, Dr. Sister Ignatius Mary. Thank you, ma'am.
A true leader is one who inspires, guides, and empowers others to achieve excellence. On this distinguished occasion, it is my honor to invite Reverend Dr. Sister Ignatius Mary, Secretary, Fatima College, Madurai, to deliver her felicitation. We are privileged to acknowledge her remarkable contributions and leadership. We welcome you, Sister.
A very cordial and warm greetings to you, the galaxy of intellectuals of the technical sessions, very dynamic keynote speaker Dr. Siramavo Nair, resourceful Dr. R. Selvarajan, Director ICAR, National Research Center for Banana, Trichy, global-oriented organizing members of the Home Science Department, vibrant participants. At the outset, let me congratulate the PG and Research Department of Home Science for organizing an international conference of paramount importance and relevance in today's world. The conference brings home to us the vital importance of food and agriculture as they form the foundation of human survival. India, with its diverse agroclimatic zone, faces the dual challenge of ensuring food security and improving farmers' livelihood. In this context, the integrated farming system, IFS, emerges as a holistic and sustainable approach that enhances productivity and ensures environmental sustainability and economic resilience. In the thematic address, Professor Avishek Datta dealt with regenerative agriculture in farming system that aims to restore and enhance the health of the ecosystem. We are happy to learn that it brings about a holistic approach to improve soil fertility and increase biodiversity. Dr. Kalpana Bhaskaran, with her technical session, guided us to move beyond just the availability of calories, but to focus on ensuring everyone the access to healthy, diverse, and nutritious diet for good health. This approach emphasizes the true good food stability requires nutrition security, which addresses the need for a variety of macro and micronutrients, not just enough food for survival. This shift calls for policies that integrates nutrition goals across sectors like agriculture, health, and education. The keynote speaker of today's international conference, Dr. Siramavo Nair, led us to the path of India's progress on Sustainable Development Goals 2, that is zero hunger, is marked by significant poverty reduction and increased food production. Achieving zero hunger requires tackling multidimensional poverty and improving nutrition. The country has a large number of undernourished people. The speaker gave us a clarion call to take initiatives in agricultural productivity, food distribution, and direct welfare programs. We are all eager to hear from Dr. Selvarajan about technological interventions for sustainable food production in India. He may include precision agriculture using drones and AI for optimized resource use, smart irrigation system, and vertical farming in space-constrained areas. I wish this international conference, with its shared knowledge, networking, and publication, serve as a benchmark for circus. Let us all join hands in addressing global food and nutrition security challenges through transformation activities. Thank you.
Thank you, sister, for your motivating and enlightening address. Every ending is not a closure, but a bridge to new horizons. With great respect, I am delighted to invite Dr. R. Selvarajan, Director, ICAR NRCB, National Research Center for Banana Trichy, to deliver the valedictory address.
Could you get our PPT? You got our PPT? Getting. Okay. Okay, before that comes, let me start. So first of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to give valedictory address. In fact, they invited me to give a keynote earlier. Finally, I am joining for the valedictory. Respected Secretary, Dr. Sister Ignatius Mary Ma'am, and the organizing secretaries, Dr. C. Priyalata and Helen, and distinguished speakers for this international conference, Professor Abhishek Datta, and who talked about regenerative agriculture, and another keynote speaker, Dr. Kalpana Bhaskaran, who has given wonderful talk on Beyond Enough, reframing food security through nutrition lens. And also Dr. Noyer, she also today probably given online, virtually she has given a talk, I understand. So, and all the delegates who are all here listening the speaker's talk, and as well as I probably would have put some oral presentation also here. Thank you. Here, it's really first time I'm coming to this Fatima College. I understand it's a 70 years old college. I often go to St. Joseph College in Trichy and Bishop Heber College. Bishop Heber College also is one which is very famous in Trichy. And 13,000 students they study in that college. I often used to go there, and St. Joseph also. It's another biggest, well-known college, not only in India, Tamil Nadu, but in India. So here, the title of this conference, very interesting. That's international, this food and agricultural integration for a research for resilient world navigating global challenges. In fact, this is very important. Talking about resilience is very important. Talking about sustainability is very important. So, you know that in 1950s, after we got independence, after 1947, we were all begging bowls. I think many speakers would have talked about India was a begging bowl, and we were importing, we are begging maize flour from USA. And our population that time, it was only 34 crores. Only 34 crores we were importing maize from there for feeding a 34 crore population that time. But now we are 1.4 billion, 145, almost 145 crore people. So what is the present situation, you know? And how it has happened also, you might be aware of it. You might be knowing about the Green Revolution and Bharat Ratna C. Subramanian, Bharat Ratna M.S. Swaminathan, the late M.S. Swaminathan recently was conferred. You know their contribution for the agriculture in India. And in as I said, in 1965 to 85, I would say, you would have seen the Green Revolution impact, the implementation of Green Revolution, the things which we want to bring. The then government, the then Prime Minister, Sri Jawaharlal Nehru, he gave full hand to Dr. C. Subramaniam, the then Agriculture Minister, the policy maker, to import high-yielding wheat varieties, to import high-yielding rice varieties, and make empowerment of our Indian scientists, train them to breed better rice varieties, better wheat varieties to increase the production and the productivity. And this made us that self-sufficient. In 1991, we became self-sufficient in the production. Self-sufficient means what we produce, that was enough for eating for our own population. In 1990, again, our population doubled. Almost it is 70 crores. And it was, we were able to feed each and every one of you. But of course, there are many people died out of hunger, and many might be knowing my friend Bengal person is here, Great Bengal Famine, 1942. If you read, if you Google it, there are a lot of stories in it. How Winston Churchill, whether it was made, it was man-made hunger, means famine, or it is happened famine. So there are many stories they say. Of course, that time the rice production has gone down because of a disease, because of policies, lot of things were there. But we were many people, millions of people dying out of hunger in India. Millions of people dying out of hunger. This present generation would have not realized anything about hunger. I am telling you, dying out of hunger is really worst for the human. And now 4 years back, because of a virus, millions of people died. COVID-19, millions of people died because of a smallest creature in the world, killed the people. And this is, it's a different, but dying out of hunger is really intolerable. That's what the thing has happened, and a lot of investment made, and Indian Council of Agricultural Research was started in 1972. But in fact, it was there 1905 onwards. 1905 onwards, Imperial College of Agricultural Research, Imperial Institute of Agricultural Research in Pusa, Bihar. Yes, ma'am.
Resend this number, she will resend it.
போட்டு படுங்க. So, I was telling about how we, that from hunger, and how we became self-sufficient. For this, we were started producing more high-yielding varieties, short duration varieties, short dwarf statured varieties we deployed. And again, we deployed a lot of fertilizers. We have given input to the plants so that it can grow better, yield better. So about, see, prior to the independence, you may not be knowing what is urea, potash, superphosphate, all these. No fertilizers were known, and none of the fertilizers were used. We use only format manure, compost, and leaf manure, all these things. But the Green Revolution made us that we had to import, and we had to manufacture. For nitrogen source, urea. For potassium, totally we import potassic fertilizers. Murat, this, single super phosphate is available, mineral available in India itself. So, through applying the lot of fertilizers, high-yielding varieties, we be able to, okay. What I want to say is, we have exploited all the resources. We exploited all the resources. Let it be water, let it be land, let it be fertilizer, let it be everything we exploited, the natural resources. Then we could be able to meet out the food grain production. Means we became self-sufficient in 1991. Okay? 1991 we became self-sufficient. And now we are surplus. We are producing surplus. We are earning 45 billion rupees, $45 billion in exporting agricultural commodities. $45 billion we are exporting. And Basmati rice alone, we are exporting to the tune of 40,000 crore every annually. We are exporting. And totally rice we are exporting 70,000 crore. And as I said, the total agricultural produce means including fish and all other things, 45 billion we are getting dollars we are getting every year. So we are surplus. We could able to earn money through export. So these are all happened only because of technological intervention. Without adoption of the technological intervention, nothing can happen. And that way, I would say this is very fast way we have come. In the last 50 years, the way which we have progressed is very fast, very quick. And we have exploited natural resources. Remember, exploiting natural resources, it will be gone. Like, now we will not going to get petrol, diesel because natural gas going to be dwindled. That resource will not be another 1,000 years you will not get. That's why we are going to the renewable energies. Did you get, madam? Did you get my Did you get my PPT? You are what? No, so because he is calling me. That's why. Okay. So that's what they think that about green revolution, and again about white revolution, the milk. About blue revolution, the fish. Yellow revolution, the oil. Green revolution means this silver revolution, egg. Brown revolution, coffee. And gray revolution, wool. And we call horticulture revolution is a golden revolution. All the horticulture produce, or we call rainbow revolution. So all these revolutions led, we have increased the production and productivity over the period. And we have not increased the net area sown. What we were sowing, the net area is 124 million hectares. Now it is just 138 million hectares. But you see, the productivity has gone up. That's what. The area we cannot increase. What we have is only that much. Only we have to increase the productivity. Without which, and we are number one in the world milk production. We are number one largest producer of pulse, largest producer of banana, jute, spices, second largest producer of wheat, rice, fruits, vegetables and sugarcane. And we are among top 10 net exporters. India also, as I said, around 50 billion US dollars we are exporting. We have got a quantum jump, and that's what I said. Area has not expanded, but we have increased. Let us say 1970s, 137 million food grain production. Now it's a 353 million tons of food grain production. You take horticulture, 25 million tons in 1951. Now it is 362 million tons. Every year we are producing. And our food habit is totally changed. I think some of the speakers would have talked about the food habit. We are not eating too much of cereals now. We eat fruit and vegetables. The consumption of fruit and vegetables in India is increasing. That's why we could able to export the food grains. Food habits are changing. Everything is changing. And of course, we produce number one in the world in the fruit production. But again, we are importing fruits. You go to any places, you will get Chinese apple, you will get American apple, you will get New Zealand kidno. So because there are many well-to-do people, we can import. We cannot stop anyone not import. Of course, we used to policy decisions they take, especially when potato, onion, these sorts of things, if some problem comes, they will stop exporting onion, so that the common people, the consumers should not get burdened with high price. Similarly, potato. So these things keep happening. So coming to the productions keep going. And what I'm telling is, it is not India has exploited the land resources, but every developed countries, they also do the same agriculture. They exploited all the resources and they came up with agriculture. They produced a lot of food grains, everything. But the same thing we followed. I would say we followed the developed nations. What are the protocols they made, we also followed. We became. So with our agricultural research background, we could able to do it. Okay. And how many varieties we have released. Indian Council of Agricultural Research, joining with 74 state agricultural universities, we have released 6,124 varieties, new crop varieties have been released. I am telling since 1969, we have released 6,127 varieties. And among these, the climate resilient varieties, 1,888 we have released. These are resilient varieties. And this climate resilient varieties means either biofortified, which it can withstand drought, it can withstand salinity, it can withstand biotic stresses like diseases and pests. So now actually we have to produce climate resilient varieties, not high yielding. When you go for high yielding, we have got a very high yielding varieties. We need a climate resilient varieties. And biofortified varieties, last year, just 2 years back, when Honorable Prime Minister came for a millet conference, he released 124 varieties, climate resilient varieties. 124 varieties he released, and the varieties wheat, maize, rice, and many horticulture crops. In horticulture crops, sweet potato, sweet potato with anthocyanin rich, carotene rich sweet potato. Banana, we have carotene rich bananas we have. We have recently in the pipeline, we are going to release carotene rich banana. And you know about the plantain Nendran, which contains very good carotene, but you have to boil and eat. But now we have developed a desert hybrid banana. A desert hybrid banana, we converted a plantain nature to desert nature. So the conversion of starch to simple sugar, it takes quickly upon ripening. So that hybrid also we released in our NRC banana. So like that, you take pure millet, finger millet, little millet. Now all these varieties, biofortified varieties have been released. And now food security is done. What about nutritional security? So nutritional security is very, very important. Under this line, the entire NORS, we call National Agricultural Research and Education System, wherein we have got quite a good number of scientists. In ICAR alone, we have got 6,500 scientists. 6,500 scientists are working across the country in 113 institutions. And they do not only for crops, but also poultry, cattle, and every aspects they do a lot of work, including mechanization and other things. So coming to the green, again, if you talk about greenhouse gas emission, how we are spoiling the environment, the greenhouse gas emission is one of the major issue, and it is being talked as an international thing. In 1970s, at present, our greenhouse gas emission has increased by 125%. By area, but otherwise this greenhouse gas emission per unit food grain production has decreased by 20%. If you take about the production and if you compare, it is less, but otherwise it is actually more. So this how to reduce carbon footprint, we have to reduce carbon farming, we have to encourage, and we have to see the carbon sequestration. And in our soils, if you look at in our soils, the organic carbon content has drastically reduced because of applying high fertilizers and other things. But if you go to Kodaikanal and Thadian could say those areas where coffee and bananas are grown naturally without water, natural rain only they give. So otherwise they will not give too much of fertilizer. The organic carbon content is 4. So wherever organic carbon content is 4, you throw a plant, it will give you the yield. Okay. So that way it will be a good one, that you have to keep the soil health. Soil health is very, very important. How to keep a soil health? You have to increase the soil organic carbon content, for which our government of India, now they say that go for organic farming. They say go for natural farming. Of course, if the entire country is converting to organic farming and natural farming, again there will be a food scarcity will come. But we have to have a balance. Okay. So again, coming to the full milk production, also I was telling about you. We were producing only 17 million tons in 1950. Now 239 million tons. 239 million tons we are producing milk alone. Similarly, poultry, egg. The egg production also phenomenally increased. But remember, our population in 1950, at present it is a 4-fold increase. But whereas food production is 6.6-fold increase. The food grain production is 6.6-fold increase, but our population increase only 4.4. I can complete. If it is not open, you can leave it. I will share later. Okay. So, and similarly, blue revolution. About blue revolution, that is shrimp. We are number 1 in the world. We are number 1 in the world in exporting shrimp. You know about prawn culture, shrimp, and Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. They are leading in shrimp production. We are exporting very quite good of this one. And Indian fisheries, if you look into it, India ranks as the 3rd largest fish producer. And many might be, yeah. You can jump to 25th slide. Indian fisheries. You can go to Indian fisheries. Next. No. I think the fisheries sector, blue revolution is there. Huh? Go back. Maybe 30. Slide number 30. 30. Okay, I think we can. Okay, let it be here. I'll just move it. Go back. Okay, let me talk this Amrit Kal. Okay, agriculture in Amrit Kal, you keep it here. Yeah, this is what I was already told about how green revolution, how the reforms and liberalization, how Atmanirbhar Bharat, then Amrit Kal. Amrit Kal 2047, our Honorable Prime Minister, not only Honorable Prime Minister, the entire country is waiting for, we want to become developed nation. 2047, we want to become developed nation. That is for our aim. So how to achieve this developed nation is the thing which we have given the comparative. Go next. Yeah. See here, what is now, we have got 140, around 145 crore people are here. 2047, we are expecting 163 crore people, 1.63 billion are expected, or little more. Some people work out it 1.7, they work out. Below poverty line, I was telling it's a 27% of the people are below poverty line now. Now it is our aim is to get 5% of the population below poverty line. Okay. So the rural population also now 65, it want to be 45. And income, again, now 1.8 lakhs per capita income. Every individual earns 1.8, but we want to 15.4. And GDP also has increased. Water availability is 1,200 liters only per capita. But whereas in case of Brazil, it is 27,000 liters they have. In case of USA, they have again 12,000. So in China, again, they have better than us. So our water resource is very, very less. At NRC Banana, I will tell you, National Research Center for Banana, we have developed precision farming. We come to know a sensor-based irrigation, controlled with IoT technologies could reduce 30% of the water. You know, banana loves water. Rice also loves water. To produce 1 kg of banana, you have to have 1,800 liters. To produce 1 kg of rice, approximately 2,500 liters of water. This is what the actual calculation. But now we have come. You know about in banana, drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is almost 80% of banana cultivation under drip irrigation. But now what we say, you can further save 25% of water if you go sensor-based irrigation. So sensor-based irrigation, what it happens, you know, the size of the plant, the transpiration rate, the evaporation rate, all put together, you take and we have to measure it. So 0.33 megapascal or the kilopascal, 0.33 kilopascal is field capacity. 0.5 is a it will give a little bit stress. But actually we worked out 0.5 up to 0.5 bar, it can withstand, it can give the yield. You can save almost 30% of water. Why unnecessarily spoiling the water? So that way you can save your water for not now, for future. Don't exploit the groundwater level since it is available. You should use how much it is needed. Now, I think many of you agriculture background, you may realize whenever more rain is there, the yield will be less. Whenever more rain is there, whenever you give more water to the plant, the yield will go down. Many are not realizing. You give exact water what it is required, you will increase the yield. This people have not understood. Even now people are going for flood irrigation, they give lot of water, they spoil the land, everything. So that way we have to utilize the resources very, very precisely. We should not go beyond. Oh, you can go next. Yeah. Next. Yes. So coming to the national priorities, commitments and all these things. This is actually what I am presenting is ICR's Indian Council of Agricultural Research aim of reaching 2047. By 2047, we want to become developed nation. How agriculture will contribute? That's the point here. So national priorities, we want to enhance farmers' income. Otherwise, if we are not enhancing the income, the farmers will go to the city. They will do some other job. They will give away the agriculture. So improve the nutritional security, reduce the fertilizer, use renewable energy. That's what you might be knowing now, solar energy being exploited. Windmills are a lot. We are exploiting windmills. So renewable energy is very, very important. Reduce the greenhouse gas emission by 45%. Then genetic enhancement, variety development. Still we have to keep doing varieties because what we produced a variety 10 years back, it is succumbing for disease now. So you have to do, it's called boom and bust theory. Boom and bust theory means you will get high yield. After 2 years, it will succumb for the disease, it will die. So you have to release a new variety. So you have to keep changing, redeploying new varieties. So genetic enhancement is very, very important. Of course, nature-friendly farming we have to look. That's what nature farming, organic farming, conservation agriculture, all these things we have to follow. Of course, we have to trust area, gender equality. Now in ICAR, agricultural side, 60% students are girls. More than 60% students are girls now. When we were studying BSc Agriculture, only 10%. So I am very happy that the mothers are people who give the food to the children. So again, they are going to the food side. I am very happy that the gender equality is looked into in agriculture development. And of course, next you can go. Demand and supply of commodities. As I was telling, the consumption of cereal has come down in Indian population and consumption of vegetables and fruits has increased. So our food habit is changing. So earlier we said farm to fork, now fork to farm. What consumer wants, we have to produce. It is not that what we produce, you eat. What you want, we want to produce. So fork to farm is the one which we have to see. But all pulses we are behind. Pulses, oil seeds, India is struggling. And for vegan, for non-vegetarian people, it's not a problem. Protein source is there. For a vegetarian people, only pulses. And pulses, we are number one, but we are not able to give our vegetarian population enough protein. We have for vegans, they take only pulses as a protein source. But again, we are lagging behind because the productivity is very less. Productivity is very, very less. Okay. So, next. The technologies to achieve, as I said, crop improvement technologies, diagnostic technologies, precision production. And I think someone introduced me in banana, the banana tissue culture, I have established a laboratory. In banana, virus was the major problem. In banana, there are 4 plant viruses are there, Bunchita virus and all, Pract mosaic virus. That is the major issue in tissue culture. So what happened? Now we have developed indigenous diagnostic kit. There are 100 tissue culture companies giving 300 million plants every year. We developed indigenous kits in my laboratory and we used to certify them, virus-free plants. And we certified because of this, the productivity of banana has gone up. And now banana is #1 fruit in India in export. Not only production, in the globe, we are #1 in the world banana production because of deploying our varieties, deploying our technologies, deploying sensor-based irrigation and all those things. So again, we have developed more than 8 climate resilient banana varieties from past 30 years. And in banana, developing a variety is very difficult because there is no seed. It's a parthenocarpic. Banana is a parthenocarpic. So we have developed a diagnostic kit to give a quality planting material. In case of horticulture, quality planting material is very important. If the plant is virus infected, the yield will not be there. Everything is gone. You take citrus disease virus is a big issue. And if you take pomegranate, xanthomonas blight is a very big problem. Then you take grapes, downy mildew, powdery mildew, all the diseases are there. They dump grapes, they dump the fungicides like anything. They used to dip the fungicides in the fruits and they eat. We know about residues and all. But banana is the one which does not have any residue. You can eat without any fungicide residue. Of course, mango also, it has got a lot of fungicide residues. Next. So, I'm deviating here and there the subjects. Even then, what I want to say is, changing climate, changing thing, Uttar Pradesh, they were growing banana only 30,000 hectares 5 years back. Now, it's at 90,000 hectares. Because of climate change, temperature increase, the cultivation is shifted from one place to another place. So, shifting of this cultivation is happening because of climate change. Okay, the rice production here is this much now. After 100 years, it will be shifting to other place. The area will be expanding in some other place where it is conducive to grow and get a better yield. So, all these things we have to take into consideration when we are tackling 2047. All these things we have to foresee and we have to do it. Okay. So, coming to the secondary agriculture, already our friend has talked about secondary agriculture. You can keep moving. Huh? Next slides, next. Yeah, secondary agriculture, already we have been talked more by our friend. And digital agriculture also, which I was talking about. I told now artificial intelligence and IoT. Even a small institute like in the NRC Banana, we have come out with 4 technologies. I have got a patented technology to diagnose the diseases in the field itself. And the decision support system we are giving. See, decision support system we are giving. So that decision support system, for example, I will tell you. Now, in 9 states, 24 places I have installed a weather station. All those data comes to our server in Tiruchirappalli and we take leaf spot disease management, leaf spot disease score we take, and we want to convert it in an IoT based mobile app so that farmer can use that app, take a decision whether to spray or not, whether to spray, when to spray, how much to spray, everything he will get. So we have got 3 years experiments we have done. Now we are coming up with an IoT based solution for disease management in banana. Similarly, in all other crops, ICR has done, it is doing precision agriculture. Okay, next, you go to next. Move next. Come to ICR in Amrit Call, thrust areas. These thrust areas, ICR has formed. All the directors we joined with our deputy, our Honorable DG, Dr. Himanshu Pathak, and we joined and we made one issue has come out from National Academy of Agricultural Sciences. We all contributed and brought out how to reach Amrit Call, what all the reforms we had to bring, what all the things which we had to do, capacity building, digital extension, ease of governance, collaboration, resource generation, increase. These are all things which we were aiming, and especially precision agriculture. Now, even now we do not have a mapping, banana mapping. Now, after joining, I took over as a director, I went to ISRO, National Remote Sensing Center, Hyderabad. I went to SAC, Ahmedabad. I went everywhere. I want to map the banana area in India using hyperspectral imaging using satellites. When I went and I discussed with the scientists, my friends are there, they said, we cannot differentiate sugarcane with banana, with hyperspectral. That is the level what we have got from the hyperspectral. Now we bought a drone in our institute with a multispectral drone. And in our 100 acres research plot, every 15 days we fly 120 meters above. And we are we can identify the varieties, we can identify the stage of the crop, we can identify whether the bunches are ready to harvest, everything. Now we are working. Once we work and if we are implementing one district, then 33 districts. In case of banana, 80% of banana is produced in 33 districts across the country. So if we are concentrating in 33 districts, then we can tell them when to plant. We can avoid glut. Farmers get very low price when glut happens. It's a 1 year crop. We can manage. 15 days once. We can tell when you have to plant. You will get a better price when you plant like this, like this. So we are working towards this and we have come out with a very good solution nowadays. Now, we are also going to fit a hyperspectral, this one in the flight. From Lucknow, one flight is flying with hyperspectral camera, one from Bangalore, one from even Trichy. We have given different locations. And it will be flying and it will give the images to us. And we will again validate with our data. So, lot of things are happening. We go next. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think I have taken more time. I will another 5 minutes I will conclude. Taking the banana into your point. See, the point is that how to do sustainable agriculture. Can we exploit too much? We should not exploit. Sustainable agriculture wherein which the resources should be effectively utilized. You have to conservation agriculture you have to do. You have to make your soil very healthy. The soil should be microbe enriched. The soil should have healthy soil, microbe enriched. If you throw a plant without putting any fertilizer, it should grow. At the same time, productivity should not go less. We should come from the intensified agriculture to sustainable agriculture. We have to make it. So that way, developed nations are doing already because they are industrial. They get lot of money from industrial side. But for us, agriculture is backbone. Without agriculture, India will die. In agriculture is the primary thing. And without which India cannot survive, I will tell you. And our GDP contribution now is 18%. But we are expecting it will be low in 2047 because we want to make money from our service sector. You know about population. Indian population during Indira Gandhi period, they brought family, to reduce the population, they brought few policy things. Now they've given up. Why? Because our people are human resource. They go all other countries, earn money, give back to us. So that way we are increasing the human resource development and we are making more. Our country is growing because in service sector, 60% GDP comes under service sector. 60% GDP comes under service sector, which includes your computers, all services which we do. So that way, developing countries, agriculture contribution 2%. It's just 2%. And ours is 18%. So it will go down. So ultimately what I would say is, we have to develop technologies in the climate changing scenario, wherein which biofortified varieties, disease resistant varieties, at same time high yielding, and which can fit into the conservation agriculture, and we have to produce good food. And coming to this is a food technology, food related conference. I want to take about NRC Banana, what we have done at NRC Banana. We have produced 60 banana based products. We have produced 60 value added banana products in our center. We have given licensing to 220 licensing we have given across the country in value addition alone. And banana is called Kalpataru. Banana is called Kalpataru. Coconut is called Kalpa Vriksha. So Kalpataru, banana only fruit we harvest and eat. But what about the leaf seed? If you are taking leaf seed, you can make a fiber. In central core stem, you can convert into juice. Central core stem juice, in Ayurvedic medicine, they give for a kidney stone. For kidney stone, they give Ayurvedic medicine. So we have developed this technology, we have given to 20 people. And again, we have developed a central core pickle. You can prepare a central, pickle is our part of diet. You cannot avoid these pickles. Okay, especially Andhras, they enjoy pickles. So we have developed a very good pickle from the central core stem, and wherein the potassium is very high. And we need more potassium than sodium. So in our pickle, the potassium is more than the sodium. Normally pickle means sodium. People having high blood pressure should not eat. So we increase potassium in place of sodium because of adding this. So it is really nutritionally sound. And again, we have made rhizome starch, rhizome flour. The banana rhizome flour we have taken, we have made into a food because it contains a resistant starch. Resistant starch, it has got good enough. So take that flour into making different products. Like, it can be added 10% of the rhizome flour can be added to the wheat flour or other flours and make the product. Then coming to the flour, banana flour, we have got a lot of products, banana flour, okay, pasta, noodles, everything we have in our institute. And we have peel. That peel is having very rich in potassium, banana peel. And it is containing selenium. For old people, you need a selenium, micronutrients, and it has lot of things are there. Pickled powder can be used for secondary food product. Then again, banana is a perishable commodity. What will happen? It will ripen, it will be, if you are not consuming, you have to throw it. You have to throw it. But now we have made a ripe banana powder. Ripe banana powder. If you are not able to eat, you can convert into powder. You go and collect all the stalks, all the ripe, overripe banana you collect, come and make into a powder. You can keep it for 1 year. So this is like a banana jaggery, you can say. It looks like a jaggery, banana jaggery. You can convert into a ripe banana flour, powder. Again, we have got a chips industry. Everyone eats a lot of chips, Banana chips, everyone enjoy. But the point is, nowadays, health conscious people, they are not eating because more oil. It contains more oil. So now we have developed a technology. It can reduce 25% of the oil uptake. So we add some, we add some maltodextrin and other compounds, gum arabic and all. And that we convert into a 25% less oil intake it will be there. So low fat chips. We developed a low fat chips. And we have developed a low fat chips and all these things. And again, coming to the point, we have used the starch, banana modified starch for, coating with laminar in fish oil. Now fish oil is being sent through, some animal origin they take and all. And again, many vegans, they will not take fish oil. You can use banana starch. You can use cassava starch also. Banana starch, modified starch. We have coated with laminarin and this faba bean protein, faba protein and laminarin. We have coated with this oil and we have published in a highly rated journal. It's around impact factor of 9. Impact factor, not NOS impact factor. 9 we have published, wherein we have used the modified banana starch for coating laminar and other thing. And bioplastics. We have developed bioplastics from banana, and that's also a very interesting thing. Pectin, cellulose, then a lot of things. That's what I'm telling. 60 products and symbiotic, probiotic, prebiotic, which can be done. And you can take this banana fiber, center core stem juice, after extracting juice, you get a pomace. That can be used to extract in the resistant starch. That could be used. So, come to NRC Banana, I think most of the delegates or students appears. Come to NRC Banana. We have got a very good incubation center, wherein which we produce lot of products which you can see. and you can really taste it and enjoy. And we have given such a large number of people the technologies. Out of 220, we recently studied an impact, 150 entrepreneurs doing well. 150 entrepreneurs out of 220, they are earning a lot of money, they are progressing well. Some people, because of many other issues, they have withdrawn, means they have come down there, this one. So, in the food point of view, we have done wonderful things. And, banana is really a wonder fruit, I would say. Many say apple is best. I would say banana is the best fruit, and it's an affordable fruit. Not apple, don't eat apple, eat every day a banana. It will give you instant energy. Okay, you would have seen now Dhoni, Mahendra Singh Dhoni eats a banana in the field, pitch. Similarly, tennis players, they eat banana only to get an instant energy. So when you are getting sleepy, don't take coffee. Take a small banana, you will become energetic. So you will be, once you are energetic, you are activating your brain, you can read, you can learn, you can do a lot of things. So love banana, eat every day banana. It will make you very happy. You will get a good sleep also. Thank you so much for this opportunity. You can close that. Thank you. Any questions I can take up? If you have any questions. You have got any questions? And because many of here are students, I would like to tell only 1 or 2 points for you. Always you have to live in present moment. Remember, you have to live in the present moment. If you are living in the present moment, you will achieve whatever you want. You want to become IAS officer, collector, you will become. If you want to be a scientist like me, you can become. Whatever you want to become, live in the present moment. Avoid daydreaming. Don't allow your mind to run Africa, America, all these places. Bring back from Korea, bring back to your place. The moment if you are reading a thing, put your mind only on that. The moment you are eating, you have to think only eating and food and the other things. So don't deviate this one, you will be really happy. For example, I will tell you, players, those people who do the sports activity. When I am playing a table tennis, when ball comes, I have to react immediately. If I am daydreaming, the ball gone. I will be failed. If you go cricket, when you take a bat, you are facing a ball from McDermott, you have to hit correctly. Otherwise, you will be lost. So, how you are concentrating while playing sports, similarly, every moment you concentrate what you want. Okay, I asked one question, madam. Actually, I asked in one place, in a minute, how many times we breathe in, breathe out? I asked around 500 people were in this type of hall. When I talked about yoga and naturopathy yoga, I was giving a talk on June 21st. I asked how many times you are inhaling and exhaling in a minute. None of them they answered correctly. None of them they answered correctly. I don't know, because we never see how much inhaling, outhaling, whether we watch, whether how many times we never do. You take your watch and count how many times. You will be surprising, only 12 times, 8 to 15 times only you inhale and exhale. But when I asked, they said 50 times, 40 times, 25 times, 60, they were telling. But really, no one bothers what is happening in our own body. So you just watch your, don't think too much. Think how many times you are taking, breathing in and breathing out, and keep a watch and see. See, we are becoming 60 years also, people are not knowing how many times we are breathing in, breathing out. Means our mind is not thinking what we are doing. If you are living in the present moment, you will know. So if you are breathing less number of times, your longevity will be more. 1 minute, only 8 times you are breathing in, breathing out, you will live more than 80 years. So you just think and do a lot of breathing exercise, yoga, keep your health fit. Food, not only food, but also all yogic exercise you do, and you live long. God bless you all. Thank you.
I humbly request all the dignitaries to occupy on the dais. On behalf of the organizing committee, I convey a heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for your insightful address on technological intervention and sustainable food production. Your valuable perspective and practical inputs have greatly enriched this session. We are grateful for your time and presence. Thank you, sir, for making this valedictory truly meaningful. Winning is not just about reaching the finish line. It's about conquering the inner obstacles, surpassing your own limits, and discovering the champion within. It's time to appreciate the prize winners of the paper and poster presentation. I now request our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. R. Selvarajan, to give away the prizes to the winners of the poster and paper presentation. We welcome you, sir.
Join Kalpana sir. Join. Best paper presentation, Amirtha Varshini S. Research Scholar, Department of Home Science, the Gandhigram Rural Institute. Let us give a good applause to her. The results of the Best E-Poster Award, Neelaveni K, Research Scholar, Department of Food and Nutrition, Ratnavel Subramaniam College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you, dignitaries.
Congratulations to all the winners. Let today's achievements inspire us all to aim higher and keep striving for excellence. Gratitude can transform common days into thanksgiving, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessing. May I now invite Dr. C. Priyalada, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Home Science, to propose the vote of thanks.
I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart, and will tell of all your wonderful deeds. Psalm 9:1. A pleasant afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of the organizing secretaries, it is my honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks for the 2 days international conference on food and agricultural integration for a resilient world, navigating global challenges. First and foremost, I express my sincere gratitude to Lord Almighty for making this conference remarkable and a grand success. I express my warmest gratitude to our respected secretary, Dr. Sister Ignatius Mary, for illuminating the path of every individual with the fullest support and guidance. Thank you, sister. I express my gratitude to our respected principal, Dr. Sister M. Fatima Mary. Your commitment in fostering international collaboration, academic excellence, and innovative thinking has been the foundation of this event's success. Thank you, sister. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the ever-supporting teams of Vice Principals, Dr. Sister Arul Mary, Dr. Sister Bindu Anthony, Dr. S. Vidya, and Mrs. Nikila Raghavan. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. R. Selvarajan, Director, ICAR, NRCB, National Research Center for Banana, Trichy, for immense output on Viksit Bharat by 2047, technological intervention for sustainable food production. Sir, your insights on advanced intervention, precision agriculture, artificial intelligence, renewable energy, cold chain infrastructure can increase the productivity, minimize the waste, and enhance value addition in banana and conserve resources is highly valuable. Thank you, sir. I express my heartfelt thanks to Professor Abhishek Datta, Department of Food, Agriculture and Natural Resources, Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, Thailand, for gracing the conference with thought-provoking thematic address. Thank you, sir. My cordial thanks to Dr. Kalpana, Deputy Director, Industry Partnership, Head, Glycemic Index, Research Institute, Singapore. Ma'am, your invaluable side expertise have greatly enriched the conference. Thank you, ma'am. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Srimau Nair, Scientist and Chair, Nutrition and Fortification, New Delhi, for promoting global research for sustainable goal development through Zero Hunger Initiative. Thank you, ma'am. My sincere thanks to Dr. C. Kalaivani Ashok, Head and Associate Professor, Queen's Mary, for chairing the session and meticulous care towards assessing the presentation. My bouquet of thanks to Dr. S. Shanti, Head and Associate Professor, PG and Research Department of Home Science, for excellent leadership and guidance in organizing this international conference. Ma'am, your meticulous planning, commitment ensure the smooth execution of this conference. Thank you, ma'am. I express my sincere thanks to the IQAC coordinator and deans of research for the constant motivation and encouragement. My heartfelt thanks to the faculties and students of Journalism Mass Communication of Fatima College for live streaming the conference. Thank you for your coverage and helping us to reach a global wider. I wish to express my thanks to all staff members of other colleges who initiated to be a part of this conference, which resulted in a resounding success. My heartfelt thanks to all the scholars, students from other colleges, both online and offline presenter, for the effective participation in the conference. Your participation and presence made this event truly meaningful. I wish to express thanks to all the faculties of PG and Research Department of Home Science for the dedication, commitment, efforts, and support in organizing the conference. My heartfelt thanks and appreciation to all the students of Home Science Department. Your contribution and active participation make this event a grand success. A special thanks to press and media for the coverage and support. My sincere gratitude to all the sponsors like Max Properties, Mahavi the Silk House of Coimbatore, Evening Boutique, Sipin R, NS Perungayam, Divya and Yami Rajavel. Your generosity and contribution towards this conference possible means a lot. Thank you for all making this international conference a successful one. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your heartfelt vote of thanks. Your words truly reflect our gratitude to everyone who contributed to the success of this event. A nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people. I request everyone to rise for national anthem.
Jana Mana Adinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidata Punjab Sindh Gujarat
उच्चल यमुना गंगा उत्कल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाये तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. Students, please stay back.